In this training, we're going to talk about the 3E strategy and how to utilize the 3E strategy to have good conversations with your clients so that you could present yourself as the expert in the room. So let's talk about what is the purpose of the 3E strategy. Now, the purpose of the 3E strategy is this. The 3E strategy provides a way to give direction to your client in which you want to drive your client's business. It provides direction for the path you want to drive your client's business so that you can create a plan that is going to provide measurable results that provide business development for your client. Okay, so you want to be able to drive direction and create a plan for business development. So what is the 3E strategy? What are the 3 E's? So let's talk about that for a moment. So the key to business growth is knowing the direction we want the business to go, because every business needs these 3 E's to stay sustainable. 1, they need to be able to engage the market. 2, they need to be able to expand in the market. And the third thing that they need to do is be able to empower the market. Now, why are these 3 E's important? 1, they need to engage the market so that they can create distribution channels where the business can position its products and services so that it can communicate with customers. 2, it'll have the ability to market and promote itself. And 3rd, be able to have sales influence in the market. Now, all 3 of these are important for business growth. So what is engaging in the market? So let's talk about that right now. So what is engagement? Engagement means to be able to position the business so that it can actively participate in the market so that consumers know that the business product and services are for sale. Now, there's 2 types of engagement. 1 is marketing engagement, and the second is sales engagement. Now, marketing engagement is putting a business in position where it presents its business brand to build trust and value in the market. Sales engagement is to position the business products and services so that they can be purchased in the market. Okay, let's pause right here for a moment because I want to really drill down on understanding what it really means to having marketing engagement and sales engagement, because this is where most consultants stumble and fail in making certain that they are setting the right expectations for their clients. And what typically happens is when you get excited and you're talking with a client and you're telling them what you're going to do for their business, what you fail to do most times is differentiate the difference in the services that you're going to offer. Now, I'm going to tell you, as a digital marketer, as a digital strategist, your job is to position your client so that it can build its value in the market through marketing, so that it can build trust and value in the market, so that you can position the brand and build the brand in a way that is going to deliver results for consumers to want to do business with your client. So that's the expectation that you should be setting up for your client. You should be telling them that you're going to set up this marketing strategy that is going to allow them to build the brand, to position the brand so that they can have trust and value inside the market. And then you share with them, what does it mean to build brand inside the market? Now, building brand in the market simply means to position a product or service in front of the consumer before they even want to purchase that product or service, so that when they do decide to buy that product or service, they think of your client's business first. That is what it means to build a brand. Is to build trust and value in the market. So if you do that and you position it properly, then when you go back to setting the path for the 3E strategy, positioning it so that it can have measurable results, now you're positioning those measurable results inside of a marketing strategy that is for the purpose of marketing engagement. Now, you can do sales engagement, but understand, sales and marketing are 2 totally different things. If you're going to position a sales strategy, then your goal is to be able to outline a budget for sales, what you want those total number of sales to be, and forecasting sales so that it can have an influence or positive results for the numbers that you're trying to meet with your sales strategy. So what does it mean to expand a business in the market? So let's talk about that for a second. So it is to extend and increase your business reach for exponential growth. Is to extend a business reach for exponential growth. There's two ways to expand: linear expansion in the market and vertical expansion in the market. Linear expansion simply means to build a channel to grow the business through direct relationships with a target audience. Vertical expansion is in leveraging relationships with non-competing businesses to reach the same targeted audience. Now, there's online expansion and there's offline expansion. So what is online expansion? Online expansion is utilizing digital channels such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Yahoo, Bing, Google to position a client's business identity and activity inside the market. Is being able to utilize anything online that is going to present the voice of the business and the activity of the business and position the identity of the business. So we want to position the voice, the identity, and the activity. Now, what does the voice look like? The voice looks like talking about who the business is, what it does. I'm talking about the mission of the business, the goal of the business. How does it directly relate to how it's going to participate in the market in terms of filling the need of the consumer? So that's what the voice looks like. The identity is what value does the business bring into the market online through this strategy? And what is the activity of engagement? How does it engage the market through its activity online? So that could be activity where it could be video marketing. It could be Facebook ads, Google ads. It could be YouTube videos. Anything that's going to expand the business identity and activity online. Now, the offline expansion is utilizing those traditional marketing tools or channels to build that same brand awareness and trust in the market. Offline expansion utilizes tools like direct mail. It may be a flyer or a guerrilla campaign. It could be a radio placement, advertisement placement. It could be a television ad. It could be a bus wrap, a billboard. It could be a sign on the street. It could be a variety of things that is offline that is not inside the digital marketing space. Now, the reason this is important is because as you're talking with your client, you need to let them understand what value you're bringing. And most of the value that you're going to be bringing is your online marketing strategy. So understanding what those online channels are and how to position those online channels so that they can cause a measurable result for the client is important. So that's why it's very important for you to understand the difference between the two. So we had this conversation about online and offline expansion. So let's go back and talk about linear expansion and vertical expansion. And I want to have this conversation because the key to growing your agency is being able to explain this terminology and to explain the strategy to your client so they understand the direction in which you want to drive their business. And what this strategy also does is put you in position to show your client how to utilize these strategies to be able to acquire new clients and to acquire new revenue, and how you want to help them to extend their brand. So let's talk about linear expansion and how we utilize linear expansion to position the language to our client. So what linear expansion really is the direct relationship from the primary business to the target market or the consumers in which it wants to serve. So who would that be? That could be an art store or an art supply store that wants to sell supplies to artists. The store is the primary business. The artist is the target market. So that's a linear relationship. It goes side to side, one way. Now, vertical expansion is something totally different. Vertical expansion is a community relationship where non-competing businesses leverage their services as a community to position their services in front of a targeted audience for the hope of gaining customers and revenue. So they share inside of the market. Businesses who don't compete together share inside the market to target an audience. So what that look like? Okay, let's use this example. You have an eye doctor, a mechanic, a dentist, and a stylist. All of them have one goal. They want to bring in more revenue and they want to acquire a customer. So each of them should leverage their services through a community relationship to target their specific type of customer. If they're not competing with one another, they put themselves in position to build a relationship with one another and give themselves the ability to have customer acquisition and increase revenue simply by building a relationship with one another. This is called vertical expansion. Now, utilize this language in helping your customer to understand what vertical expansion is and how you leverage it to bring on new revenue for their business. Okay, I know we talked about a lot, so now let's talk about the final E in the 3E strategy. Let's talk about what does it mean to empower the market. What does it mean to empower? Now, empowering is this. It is simply giving the business the ability to have influence in the market, whereas it is making decisions that influence other businesses because it is now recognized as an industry leader in the market. It is causing influence on consumers' buying and competitors' decisions. Part of your goal as a strategist or a consultant is to show your client a pathway that is going to give them a vision of what their business can become or where their business ought to go. So when you talk about the 3E strategy and we get to this last step of empowerment, causing an influence in the market, what you have done is you position your client to understand that once they engage the market, once they expand in the market, then they're in this position where they can cause influence. And this is where every business wants to be. If you're here and you help a business to obtain this goal, then you have shown them a pathway for growth. Once you've showed them this pathway of growth, they will then be able to have influence and power in the market like so many other businesses. You now have a clear understanding of the 3E strategy. So let's sum it all up and talk about how to use the 3E strategy in the conversation so that you can position yourself as an expert and as an industry leader that a business wants to utilize as a consultant. So let's walk through the conversation together. As a consultant, I work with companies that value the importance of building and maintaining growth in the market. I position a company to accomplish 3 primary goals, and I do this with what I call a 3E strategy. The first E is to engage the market and build a transactional relationship with the consumers it serves. The second E is to help businesses to expand in the market, whether that is demographically, geographically, online, or offline. And the last E is to help a business to empower the market so that the business can be a major trendsetter that influences consumers' buying decisions and how competitors interact with the market. When we accomplish these 3 objectives with the 3 E's, we build a solid foundation that improves the opportunity for brand awareness, customer acquisition, and increased revenue. So the final recap is this. Every time you have a conversation with a business, talk with them about the 3E strategy and how you're going to utilize the 3E strategy to position them to build their business and increase their brand.